Hey, ECHL fans. You can find every episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Step into the action with ECHL Ice Level, your front row seat to all things ECHL. Experience the thrill of the game through player interviews and insider updates on the league. Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Aerosmith.
And I'm Joe Babick. We are your ECHL Ice Level hosts.
We'll be dropping a new episode every week throughout the season on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can expect to hear from players, coaches, and staff within the league.
Fun episode today. We have Cam Hausinger from the Indy Fuel. Kind of talk about he's having a great season. He was named to the ECHL midseason All-Star team last week, so we can talk about that in his season so far. And speaking of the All-Star team, the jersey auction is still going on through Dash. Still a lot of those jerseys available, so go onto our website, check those out, and bid on one of the All-Stars jerseys.
Yep, we also still have the My Gray Hockey Heritage jersey auction going on, so make sure to keep an eye out on socials for those links, and those jerseys were pretty cool, so get your hands on them.
Yep, some good stuff there, but right now let's welcome in Cam and get to this week's episode. All right, today we are joined by Cam Hausinger of the Indy Fuel. Cam, we appreciate you taking some time to join us today. We are middle of January, season just about at the halfway point or a little past. And it's been, a pretty good season for you personally. So what's been the key to your success here so far this season?
I think just finding my game again. I think last year I struggled with getting comfortable and into a lineup in a situation where, I was given an opportunity, but I think this year the opportunity was given, and the teammates, the guys around me, the coaching staff has been great. And I think this summer I did a lot of work to develop the game, and it's looking like it's paying off a little bit.
So you were just recently announced on the midseason All-Star roster. So, with this being your first time announced on that roster, what does that mean to you?
It's awesome. It's cool to get the recognition, but I think it's more of a team award when these things happen, because my style of game isn't a flashy, very exciting. I think my success comes from the people around me helping me out, and so I got to give all the credit to the guys around me and the staff that I have that's helping me.
You had the honor of posting the first ever hat trick in the new building there in Fishers for the Fuel back in December. What does that mean to have your name now live on in posterity as having the first ever hat trick in that building?
I mean, it still gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I think just because I had my parents in the building that night, and so it's a moment that we can all share together. But obviously, being able to score a hat trick in any game is awesome. But the first one in that building with a sold out barn like that, it was pretty exciting, pretty fun. And then obviously to have my parents there to share it with me was extra memory.
So taking it back just a little bit, from when you guys entered the new arena and started there, you guys had, I think it was 15 games on the road while the construction was still being done. You guys went 8-6-1. I'm sure that was not a start that you would have ever expected, but just how did that go for you and then also the team?
I think it was a lot of fun, actually. It's the start of the season with a new team, and I feel like those kind of road trips can help you bond and get to know people, especially new guys, rookies in the league that might not have a taste of what pro hockey's like. And for them to get that kind of experience on the road and kind of feel like the dark days kind of at the start of the season, it makes the rest of the season go by a lot easier. And like I said, just having those 15 games or whatever it was on the road, it was a testament of our team and how we were going to kick off the season without having a home crowd ever behind us. And it was always cool going on the road and having our away fans, our home fans come to away games, because you feel like you have someone cheering for you in the crowd or whatnot. But I thought the 15 games that we got off to a good start. I mean, I think any team would take 8-6-2 or whatever, 8-6-1. uh, for 15 games on the road to start the season. So I think we're happy with that, and we try to use it to build for the rest of the season.
You touched on it a little bit there, but do you think, being on the road for that long with a brand new roster, some returning players, do you think that was really helpful for the bond, not only on the ice, but also off the ice?
For sure. I think like when you can get as close as possible to everybody, whether it's on a bus or in an airport or just in the locker room, hotels. I think that just helps with gaining connections, especially at the start of the season when you might not know someone as well, and just being able to just bond with everyone. I think that's a big part of team success and where that comes from.
And the benefit of that long road trip, obviously, at the start of the season is now a pretty home-heavy schedule the rest of the way. And you guys are in a dogfight, a very competitive Central Division. Every team is pretty much right there. So how important is that now for the team to have a lot of home games and not have the wear and tear of travel going down the stretch as you fight for a playoff spot?
I think you said it yourself right there. Just the wear and tear, not being able to, not having to travel so much, and have these 3-and-3s where you're, driving city to city every single night, and 3 nights in 3 different places or whatnot. But um, nice to get those bulk of away games out of the way and just be able to play at home, and hopefully we can stack a bunch of games here at home and start winning for our fans and for ourselves, and get up in the standings and get out of that dogfight like you said we're in.
So we're not the only ones that know this, but you're not the only Hausinger that plays in our league here. Your older brother Christian plays with Atlanta, and then your brother Kenny also played for a few of our teams then in Germany. So how is it, growing up around a lot of hockey and just that dynamic with, siblings playing in the same league?
I For me, having older brothers that played the same sport was the best thing that could have happened to me growing up. I had so much fun being able to share the game with them, and growing up I had two role models that I could look up to every single day with my two older brothers, and they taught me a lot. They really paved for where I am today and what I've learned. I think I've learned a lot off of them, and watching them and learning from them. There's still two people that are really big role models to me, and I look up to and I talk to as much as I can about whatever hockey entails, because they have so much knowledge themselves and they've been through it. And I've had the opportunity to play against both of them now, and I think that was one of the cool memories for me, and something that will last a long time to me is being able to play against my brothers.
You took a little bit of a different path than they did. They went to the college route. You played major juniors in the Western Hockey League. So kind of take us through that, your reasoning there. And was that a tough decision for you as you were deciding which route to take in your junior and or college career?
Yeah, I think every single time I talk about this, I it goes back to my parents, and it's something that my parents didn't want me to do. My parents wanted me to go to school and get my degree, but I think when I was 16 years old, I went back to Saskatoon where I was drafted to, and I just fell in love with it. They treated me so well. The coach there was amazing. The GM, the owners, all the guys, and they really just made it really comfortable for me. And I felt that my brothers are going to go do their thing, and I kind of wanted to venture off on my own path and just go away. I love that I did play in the WHL. It was still to this day one of the most fun I've been able to live in Canada for years. I learned a lot. It's fun. Most of all, I get.
You grew up in Anchorage, so obviously, growing up in Alaska is a little bit different than most people experience. But is that kind of how you got into hockey? Obviously, the ECHL had a team there with the Aces. UAA's had a long-standing program there. Was it just going to games and growing up in that environment that got you and your brothers into the hockey world?
Definitely, the ECHL team that we used to have up there, UAA, the college program, and back in the day, they also used to have a couple NAHL teams up there. They still do, but um, definitely that played an impact. But I think my parents realized that it was going to be freezing cold for about 7 hours to get these guys outside and on the ice. And it was the easiest way for them to drop us off and just their brothers. So there's four of us, and it was easy to drop us off at an outdoor rink and when the lights shut off.
So, although shifting in here, although Indy isn't playing Atlanta in any regular season games, obviously, I know you touched on it just a little bit. What would it be like to have to play your brother in maybe like a playoff game or something like that? And how would you say you guys are different on the ice?
Well, I think for me personally, my style of play it would be very exciting because he's a defenseman, and I love to be hard nosed forecheckers. So I wouldn't mind dumping one in his corner and trying to get a good lick on him or something, and put him on his butt one time. That would definitely be something I would look forward to. But definitely winning the game would be most important. To get a little fun.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna run through here in some kind of not rapid fire questions. So the first one we have here is, what is your favorite memory in your professional career so far?
Ooh, I think the hat trick that I had in the Fishers Event Center was, but specifically, I would have my first game against my oldest brother Kenny. We had played a couple times throughout the weekend, and I think I had the game winner. And the next night, he came to Wheeling or whatnot, and we ended up going to overtime, and he had the overtime winner. And I think it was just an old man. I still got it. And he had the last laugh at the end of the day. So I think that's one of my most recognizable moments.
Other than the new building in Fishers and your home arena there in Indy, what's your favorite ECHL arena to play in?
Oh gosh, I can't lie to you. I love playing in Wheeling. I got to play there for a year or 2 years, like first 2 years of pro. I love playing in Wheeling personally. I think it might be the small rink and just have a special place in my heart. So for my first 2 years there, so I think that plays an effect. But other than that, I think it's cool playing in some of the South Division rinks. I loved playing in Fort Myers and the Everblades rink, and I don't know. I'm curious to see how Lake Tahoe is. And I guess the last one I should mention is Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's always fun to play, and their fans are always rowdy, and they love to give me a good heckle. So I love playing there as well.
Bouncing off of that question, out of all the few teams that you've played for, which location specifically was your favorite to live in?
Gosh, I think that's easy to say. Fort Myers for sure. I think anyone that goes down to Fort Myers and plays down there can tell you the same thing. It's the setup there is pretty unreal. They treat you pretty well, and the weather's not bad either when you can just play golf all year. But that being said, I also do love it here in Indy. The new rink has opened up so many more fans and awareness around our community and where we live. So I think that is awesome. I think in the future, this organization will prevail to be one of the best play because of this community and what they're building here.
Who would you say you have the best on and off ice chemistry with on your team?
Ooh, probably my roommate Victor Hadfield, but he is a defenseman, so the chemistry on ice probably wouldn't be there. But other than that, on and off the ice would be Brian Lemos is probably my closest guy on and off the ice, and we talk a lot about you know what we're doing. As so it's we use our communication to help each other and try to gain some success.
Next one here. Do you have any pregame rituals or superstitions?
Maybe just like put my stick somewhere. I don't really have anything. I have a routine of things that that I like to do and ways that I warm up. Um, but nothing too superstitious. Nothing that needs to be exact or anything crazy. Like some things that make me feel good and good.
Do you have any special hidden talents everybody out there should know about?
Ooh, hidden talents. Not really hidden, but I am bilingual. I do speak Spanish. My mom is Mexican, so she forced Spanish immersion, and that's the Spanish. I think that's one of the cool things about me.
If you could switch places with anyone on your team, who would it be and why?
I would probably say roommate, and I would say because he knows how to play the guitar and he can shred, and I get so jealous every time he's playing the guitar in our room. I ask him to play every night, and then he is amazing. She has his pro Canada. He got it last year, so kind of swing the stick too.
Nice. Another one here, kind of on the same topic. If you had to switch positions on the ice, what would you switch to?
Oh, that's a goalie. I'd be swimming around the crease, probably trying to block him with my head. I don't know.
Okay. Next one here. If you could choose any player in the ECHL out of all 29 teams to be next to you on the ice and playing for Indy, who would it be?
I think it's safe to say that there's a couple guys that come to my mind, and some people that I played with that are amazing players. But how can you not say you wouldn't want Brandon Hawkins sitting there so you can pass to him so he can shoot all night for you, pick up a couple extra assists every single night just by passing him the puck.
Okay, yeah.
Your brother's not going to be happy you didn't say him, though. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, who knows? Man.
Sorry, I had to put you in the hot seat.
Yeah.
We have two more here. What is your dream NHL arena if you could ever play in one?
Oh, in an NHL game, I think it would be awesome to play in Rogers Arena in Edmonton. I got to play there when I was in juniors, and I think the rink is amazing. I was not able to use the NHL facilities though, so I think if you were to get a taste of those and be able to get a NHL crowd in there, it'd be just electric.
Okay. Last but not least, this is very random off subject. Eagles or Chiefs?
Oh, I got to go with the Eagles. Can't see the Chiefs win another one.
Okay, that's so fair. All right. Well, thank you, Cam, for taking the time to come on with us today and share a little bit more about, yourself and your path through hockey with all the fans out there. I'm sure the Indy fans are going to be excited to listen to this. And we wish you nothing but the best in the rest of the season here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again, thanks to Cam for joining us. Great to learn about him, his backstory, playing with his brothers growing up and against him in the ECHL. So always fun to catch up with stories like that. So thanks to Cam for hopping on this week's episode. That will do it for today. We'll be back next week with another episode. Make sure you like, rate, subscribe to our podcast on your preferred platform. Also follow us on social media at ECHL Hockey on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and at ECHL on X. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.